Hey guys, it's me, Saran, back with another video. This is the first video of 2020. So this is the first video of the new year, and this is also the first video of the new month, January, and it is the first video of the new decade. Really happy to be doing this video for you guys today. Long-term subscribers know that I normally like to do an end-of-year video, but I sort of held on to it and decided to push it to be my first video of the new year because I feel like 2020 is going to be a really big year. We are entering into an election year this year in the United States. And so I feel like a lot of people are not only reassessing themselves for the year and making their New Year's resolutions, but also just like reassessing and reevaluating what some of their priorities are for the year, what some of their ideas and hopes and dreams and wishes for the future are as we enter into this year. I know that I just feel like there's a lot going on this year, and as the year continues on, it's only going to get more and more bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I feel like a lot of people are already starting the year off feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So I wanted to say that my theme, I guess you could say, something that I felt was really strong heading into 2019 was the idea of legacy, and thinking about what's going to be the legacy that we leave behind. I spoke a lot about, obviously, Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery as our own ethnic group, as our own culture, and what type of legacies are we creating? What type of cultural, who are going to be our new thought leaders? Who are going to be our new creators? Who are going to be our new cultural, I guess you could say, icons, especially as last year and the year before, so many of our icons passed away. John Singleton passed away. John Witherspoon Pops passed away. We've been losing a lot of iconic stars. Prince passed away, obviously, older voices like Whitney Houston. And so as we move forward and enter into a new decade, a lot of people are sort of looking around, and thinking like, who's going to be the next, who are we going to be carrying the torch? Who's going to be carrying the torch forward in terms of Black American culture, in terms of Black American I thought and ideas and art and politics and academics and all these things. And so something that I actually found really interesting when I was reflecting back on 2019 was that I felt like there were a lot of artists and a lot of people that garnered fans and sort of created this idea of themselves only for a lot of the ideas and the execution to fall flat. I think that there was a lot of people that were self-proclaiming last year that they're going to be the next, sort of big thing. And I think that what I've been thinking about as we head into 2020, and now we are in 2020, I've been thinking a lot about intentions. Let me put it that way. I've been thinking a lot about what are the intentions behind the things that we're doing, because I feel like a lot of I keep speaking in terms of art, but it's really not just art. But I just feel like a lot of Black people and a lot of Black Americans in particular are just like really questioning the intentions of the people around us and the intentions of the things that are being given to us. I have a very old video called "You Don't Have to Finish This Shit Sandwich." This idea of like people will really hand you shit on a platter and say, it's a sandwich, eat it, it's fine. And you're like, no, it's not, it's fucking shit. So and I think the intentions are starting to come into play more and more, because you have somebody that, we did a lot of talking about Harriet last year. We did a lot of talking about Lena Waithe last year. We did a lot of talking about a lot of artists that stepped forward and said, yeah, like here is my, sort of my Black project. We talked a lot about Donald Glover. We talked a lot about Issa Rae. We talked a lot about a lot of sort of young, up and coming, contemporary Black artists. I know a lot of people were disappointed with Ava DuVernay's handling of Queen Sugar, but then like loved what she did with When They See Us. So I think that we have a lot of, they say we're in a Black renaissance right now with the amount of artistic content, and not just artistic content, but also, people that are just creating on all these various levels, writing and doing movies and film and TV shows, and yet we are seeing that even though we have this more options, I guess you could say, things are still not necessarily hitting and connecting and landing like they're supposed to. We're still really in this weird space of nostalgia, and nostalgic properties being rebooted and remade and re-upped and really pumped out, in order to take advantage of monetizing, nostalgia and monetizing those properties, which I've been thinking about a lot, as long-term subscribers know. So I'm planning a video on nostalgia as a capitalist endeavor, I guess you could say, because there's a lot of people capitalizing and monetizing nostalgia right now instead of coming with, actual new, fresh, innovative ideas with the intention of really encapsulating our Black American culture, or, just like creating genuine work. I think that there's which is always hard to start talking about genuine, what is considered genuine work. But I feel like there's a lot of work that's being made right now for reasons, to be quote unquote woke, to sort of monetize nostalgia, to monetize the fact that Black American culture, right, especially right now from the 90s, is having this resurgence. There's a lot of well, it's Black and I'm speaking for the Black people, and I'm a voice of a generation, and I'm blackity black and I'm making this Black work and I'm speaking for this and that. When really the intentions behind it are, as we've spoken about previously, to launch careers and to make money and to win awards, not necessarily to express, an artistic expression, or to, again, encapsulate a moment in time. Or I feel like people, for example, connected with when they see us, because that was a passion project, I feel, for Ava DuVernay. This is her second documentary now on imprisonment, wrongful imprisonment. She also made 13th, which was about how slavery is still legal if you've been imprisoned, and how the prison system is the new, way for them to keep Black people enslaved. These are things that she's really genuinely passionate about, and I feel like she really wants to, spread knowledge and sort of spread the word about this, which is why I feel like all of Ava DuVernay's projects that she's done on incarceration have been fantastic. And yet people have sort of disconnected from Queen Sugar because they feel like the plotline of Queen Sugar is a more, woke agenda, woketivist, really trying to capitalize and cash in on it's Black and I'm Black and they Black and we all Black and Black, while at the same time utilizing white people in a certain type of way, having interracial relationships and a colorblind sort of, all lives matter adjacent narrative, which seems like it's just being pushed for what's sort of popular and hot right now at this moment, not necessarily a passion project. And that's about intentions. As you guys know, I did a video previously on intent versus impact, where I said that I feel like the impact is usually more important than the intentions, and that sometimes people can have the best intentions but can do horrible things, which I still believe people can have the best intentions but they can do horrible things. But I'm starting to be nudged in the other direction about intent versus impact, because I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people that are making a lot of projects that are definitely making a lot of impact, and again, they might be making a lot of money, or they might be winning a lot of awards, they might be getting a lot of critical acclaim, but they're not necessarily connecting with the, quote unquote intended audience of Black Americans, because it's not actually made for us, and that's intent, right? That's intention. So as we head into 2020, I'm really thinking a lot about what are some of my intentions for the year. I keep coming back to the phrase cultural preservation. I feel like that's going to be a main focus of mine, which again is sort of a continuing of legacy. I feel like Watchmen really inspired me and had an impact on me. This HBO show Watchmen, which you guys know I've reviewed every episode, and just a lot of the ideas around family and where do you come from, and the feeling of legacy and of morality and of, what are we supposed to do? Really, I'm still thinking about that show, Watchmen, and I'm still thinking about the show in the sense of cultural preservation and a family. And I think of Black Americans as the family, descendants of American chattel slavery. So I've just been thinking a lot about, as we head into 2020, what can I do to continue to preserve our culture, document it, talk about it, create about it, continue doing the Black Americans, of course, get into some other projects and some other writing, and just more, like preservation and intentional, thoughtful creation, not just creating just to create. Hopefully I don't ever fall into that trap. But it's something that I'm really trying to be aware of and cognizant of as we move into a new decade and a new year and a new era of, art and activism and creation. And I hope that for everyone that is, looking to create in this new time cycle that we're in, that you will always be really cognizant of the intentions of your work, and create from a place of authenticity, I guess, because I think that that's something that is severely lacking as we head into 2020. There's just a lot of chit-chatter. There's a lot of shouting into the void. There's a lot of catering to what people want, giving people more of what they want, not necessarily engaging people in a certain type of way that's thoughtful. And so I just think we need to be much more mindful of that as we head into this new time. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. That's what I've been thinking a lot about. Just sort of pushback and resistance, because I'm still all about Black liberation, don't get it twisted. But I've really been thinking about resistance, in the very act of, liberating the Black body, liberating the Black American body through cultural preservation and, really ensuring that we have an understanding of who we are and where we came from and where we're going and what we need and what are our intentions as we go there. Hopefully that made sense. 2020 video! Can't believe it's already 2020. Can't believe it's already 2020. But let me know what you guys are thinking about 2020. Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions? Do you guys have any thoughts? Do you guys have any phrases or words? Like the words that really just keep like going in my head for 2020 are like cultural preservation and like what are your intentions? Cultural preservation and like what are your intentions? What are you trying to do? I'd probably say Watchmen and When I Get Home were probably the two most influential works on me of last year, because When I Get Home also was very much engaging critically with like concepts of home and where do you come from and where are you going and how can you imagine your future, and really again getting into some futuristic elements and ideas around intention. Solange talks about intention a lot and just creating something for you and for your people as Black liberation. I think that's really, really exciting. And I think those are also some questions and some ideas and concepts that can be engaged with on every level for the politically active, for the not politically active, for the artist, for the academic, for the everyday human, of in the work towards Black liberation. What's your intent? What's your intent? What do you want? What do you want to get? I think that's something that a lot of people should be sort of thinking about and asking themselves as we move forward. Because I think there's a lot of also just like sort of yelling into the void and knowing of like, well, we don't want, and we don't want this, and we don't want that, and this is bad, and that's bad. But then when it's like, well, what do you want, and what are your intentions, and what are you aiming for? It's harder to answer. So 2020, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Food for thought as always. First video of the year, first video of the month, first video of the decade. See you guys next time. Peace.